Today, F.I.F.O. Get that trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. Michael McLean, nobullbook.com, badassletter.com. If you would like a physical copy of my controversial new book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life, go to nobullbook.com. Today, I will ship you a hard paper and ink copy to your door. Immigration is almost closing. If you want to still grab a copy of my new monthly world building newsletter, it's called the Michael McLean World Building Letter, and you can become a member at badassletter.com. Both of these links are below. I'll send you a nice badass black t-shirt, Be Relentless on the back, my copy of my old insurance marketing book, and some other nice bonuses as well. But immigration to my newsletter membership closes in a couple of days, so do that today. So, F.I.F.O. A tip of the hat to my badass bitch in charge, Leanne Brennan, for reminding me of this abbreviation a few months back, and I wrote it down on one of my index recipe cards to talk about in my newsletter and talk about with my mastermind members, and of course talk about it with you here on my daily broken iPhone 7 morning videos. So I learned this abbreviation, a version of it, way back when I was coaching pro hockey, and then when I was coaching amateur hockey, and Leanne shared it from her experience in the hospitality industry. She was opening a Five Guys burger joint for a franchisee. So that was one of her personal backgrounds. She would go in and she would help open up a brand new Five Guys restaurant. Can you imagine? I mean, that's all systems, that's all procedures, that's all hiring, that's all getting the right people. That is the ultimate blueprint, and getting the franchisee and their team up and going so that they can operate a Five Guys restaurant properly. That's the big leagues of systematization and franchising. So F.I.F.O. means first in, first out. So I know it from the sporting industry. I know it from pro hockey. I know it from amateur hockey. First in, it's like a Tom Brady, where your best players most of the time are your FI guys. You know, if your quarterback in the NFL isn't FI, if he's not first in, then you got a problem. If your linebacker and your starting quarterback in college isn't your FI guy, then you're not going to be competing for any national championships. You got FI people in your business. You got your COO, you got your CEO, you've got your key people. But what really makes a top 1%er, whether it's you, whether it's an employee, is you got to be an FI guy. You got to be an FI guy, and you have to surround yourself with as many FI guys as you can. I've always surrounded myself with early birds. I've always surrounded myself with non-golfers, believe it or not. As much as I love athletics and I've coached athletics and I participate in athletics, I've always surrounded myself with as many FI guys, first in guys, as possible. My COO, my operations manager at McLean Insurance, Sandra, was an FI woman. First in, beating up the sun, whether she was working at home or whether she was in the office. She was an FI leader. Same with when I'm coaching my Perth Blue Wings team. I was always the FI guy as the owner and head coach. I was always first in to practice. I was always first into video. I was always first into the gym. I was always first in on game nights. But here's the thing that I tweaked in this thing is it used to be first in, okay, last out. And that's how many entrepreneurs, badass businessmen, they build themselves a prison. They build themselves a business that they hate. They build themselves a personal prison. They feel like slaves to their company. And the reason is they get this abbreviation wrong. They're first in and they're usually first out or last out. And that's the big thing right there. Even my dad used to talk about like that, in the early days. Well, I got to be the last guy to leave. I got to be the last guy to leave. I can't have my employees seeing me leaving early. And I remembered, of all the things I learned from my dad and agree with, one of the things right off the bat is I said, you know what? Any business I'm a part of, Dad, I'm going to build it as a machine. I'm going to build it as a machine that serves me. I'm going to build it as a machine that serves my family, serves my children, serves my community, serves my lifestyle. In other words, I'm going to build a business around my life. I'm not going to have my life around my business. So that's where I'm different than 99% of the entrepreneurs in this world. Is I'm first in and I'm F.O, first out. Well, how can you be first in and first out? Well, that goes back to the time management disciplines that I talk about in my book, that I talk about in my monthly paper and ink newsletter, that I talk about with my mastermind members. If you're working the 9 to 5, the 9 to 5 is dead. 9 to 5 is for poodles. 9 to 5 is for champs. If you tell me that you're working 10, 11, 12 hours a day, I would just like to follow you around for a day. You have, the average person, myself included, the average entrepreneur, I have between 3 and 5 magic hours per day where I can sell, I can produce, I can market, I can advertise, I can promote, I can do the things that move the needle in my business. No more than 5. Most days I have between 1 and 3 hours of what I call deep work. I have 1 to 3 hours of deep work. If you have 4 or 5 hours of deep work, I'd like to meet you because, Stephen King has 5 hours of deep work on an amazing day. Nick Saban has 5 hours of deep work on an incredible day. The best of the best. So you have on average 3 hours of magic time and deep work. And this is the secret. So if you look at the blueprint for every single day, my working days, is I start every day at 5:55 a.m. So 5 to 6. And I get up and I splash some water on my face and I pray and I put on my road work gear, the stuff I have on here, my weight vest, my shoes, my shirt, my hat, and I go and I walk for 70 minutes. I get 15,000 steps in. I'm almost at 15 now as I come down to the lake here. So that's number one. That's my first 70 minutes. My work day started at 5 to 6. I then drive my daughter Emery on most days to school. And then boom, I'm into an hour of Operation Money Suck. 80% of the success of your business is your marketing, 80%. So if you're not dedicating at least 1 solid hour to copywriting, to marketing, to promotion, to advertising, then what the hell are you doing? It's like you're running a soup kitchen or you're running a halfway house. You're certainly not running a business. The reason I'm able to scale businesses to $100,000 a month in their early days and years, that's my first target always, and 2,000 net a month and 3,000 net a month. is because I dedicate 1 hour per day to Operation Money Suck. Operation Money Suck is anything that brings me money. This morning I'm going to write 5 emails. This morning I'm going to work on my press conference PowerPoint that I'm giving this month to my newsletter guys. I'm going to write some copy. I'm going to write a bit of my newsletter, and I'm going to make a bunch of sales calls for my mastermind. So all of those activities bring me maximum money. All of those things sell books, sell my newsletter, and sell my mastermind. The 3 things that I do. I don't do 5 things. I do 3 things. I do a monthly newsletter. I sell my book, and I do my mastermind. So, and then I'll take a little break. And then the 3rd hour, of course, is reading physical books and newsletters and all that kind of stuff. So that's really important. So right off the bat, the first 3 hours of the day, my magic time, I've got the 3 most important things done. I've got my road work in, I've got my Operation Money Suck, and then finally, I got in my reading, which I call sharpening the axe, staying smart, reading physical books. And then I've owned my morning. I've won the morning. I don't touch my phone. I don't carry my phone. I don't check email. I don't check my phone. I don't text anybody. Good morning. Hello, girls. First day back to school after being at Disney for a week. So nice. Krista has a garden here, so we're eating cucumbers, fresh cucumbers and carrots, and oh my God, it's so great to have your own garden. So what happens is I've owned the morning, right? I literally I don't have a dentist appointment. I don't go to the chiropractor. I don't let anybody touch my morning time from say 6 to noon. And what's really exciting then is I've got the important done. I've got the things done that I had to get done. And then in the afternoon, I allow the chaos. In other words, after I have my lunch, I check my email, I check my phone sometimes, all these different things, and I'll deal with any issues that I have to deal with. Leanne may have some things for me to do. Marc-Andre will have some things for me to address. And so I deal with the chaos of the afternoon. There's not a ton of chaos because we've simplified our business. But those are the things, if I have a dentist appointment or if I got to get my hair cut or if I got any appointments, I always push that stuff to the chaos of the afternoon. I don't let that stuff ever touch my magic time, my deep work in the morning. And then finally, the evenings are for what? The evenings are for the people in your life that matter the most. So that's your wife, your children, your grandchildren, whatever. It's not for sitting there watching TV mindlessly or playing on your phone or responding to emails or texts. That's the behavior of the poor. That's the behavior of the poor. My multi-million-dollar top clients who have great marriages and great connection with their children, you know, kings of their own domain. That's not how their evenings are all about family. In fact, they lock that phone away at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They sit down for family dinner. There's no technology from that point on. And they don't even look at their phone until the next day when they have all their main key things done, whether that's going to the gym or reading or copywriting. And that's how you do it. Like that's how I call it first in and first out. And the reason I never work past 3 p.m. anymore. I have to pick up my daughter at school at 3:30. So this is a perfect start and ending time. I get into the mastermind house in town to world headquarters around 9:30. And I work there no later than 3 o'clock. And then I go coach hockey or coach skating or go to the barn or whatever I'm doing, but it's family time. And then my phone's put away. I don't check my phone. I take newsletters in the truck with me to the barn. I take books to read. And that's how I do it. That's how I live an F.I.F.O lifestyle. Personal sovereignty, F.I.F.O, first in, first out. Back in the day, I tried to do it. I didn't get up in time. I get up at like 7:30, 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock when I was younger. And then I would wonder why the chaos of the day took over. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't care if you're an early bird or not, but the golden magic time is in the morning. When I get up and I walk at 6 and I copywrite and I read, it's like I'm in the world by myself on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning or a Tuesday morning. And I just feel great the rest of the day when I win the morning. When I invest those 3 hours of magic time, when I've done something to bring me money, when I've done something to improve my mental health, my physical health, when I've done something to improve my intelligence, reading, sharpening the saw, then the chaos of the afternoon is not overwhelming. It's almost exciting. It's motivating. I like to get on the phone. I like to make a sales call. I like to deal with issues. I like to work on systems. I like to talk to people, and I like to do those types of things in the afternoon. And then the evenings are just fantastic. I mean, we usually sit outside, and then I put Emery to bed and read and just basically recharge with family. And locking that phone away is the key when you get home at 5 o'clock. Just locking it away so it's out of. You don't put it on silent. You don't put it on airplane. That's what chumps do. When you control your environment, you take things away. You don't like, oh, I'm gonna put the alcohol here in the cabinet where I can't see it. You know, if you're serious about changing a behavior in your life, whether it's drinking, whether it's phone use, whether it's foods, whether it's any of that stuff, you got to clean that shit out of your entire world. You got to clean it out physically, and you got to clean out the people that are associated with it. New places, new faces. New places, new faces. So I wanted to share that abbreviation with you. First in, F.I.F.O. First in, first out. I want to be the guy that works the hardest, but I also want to be the guy that works the smartest. I want personal sovereignty in my life. I want to be able to leave. It's your business. I'm giving you permission right here, okay? You're first in. You sure as hell could be first out. And if you actually focus during the day and you stay the hell off of the anti-social media sites, and you put that phone away, and you stop watching the toxic news, and you eliminate all these distractions in your life, by 3 o'clock, what the hell else do you have to do? Like if you eliminate the distractions, the phone calls, if you batch your day, you know, you take an hour, you do all your phone calls, you take an hour, you do all your emails, you take an hour, you do all your writing, you take an hour, you do all your writing, you take an hour and you go for a walk. When you batch things, badass batch things, are you kidding me? The guy who has to sit at home on his phone is a chump. It just means you're not fooling a guy like me. It just means you fucked around all during the day. I would like to see all the sites that you visited on your phone in a day. You've been on the gambling sites, you've been on the poker sites, you've been on the porn sites, you've been on the social media sites, you've been checking in with fake book, you've been on ESPN, you've been on NFL this, you're just never ending. And then you look up and it's 1 o'clock, and you look up and it's 2 o'clock, and then you're like, oh, I have to work at home tonight. I'm just so busy. Busy doing what? Do you net $100,000 a month? If you don't net $100,000 a month in your business, you're not an entrepreneur. After 2 years, if you're not netting $100,000 personally, what are you doing? You're running a charity. If you don't net, bottom line, $100,000 a month out of your business, I don't care what business you're in, then why are you in that business? Obviously, you're not doing any marketing. You don't have any time management skills, and you're maybe first in, but you're not first out. You can make $100,000 a month minimum, $200,000, $300,000 as you build it, by being F.I.F.O. First in, first out. First in, first out. And the secret to being first out is having that stop time. When I walk into the office or the house in town today, I know I got to be gone at 3 o'clock. I know when my MacBook Pro runs out of power. I don't bring the cord with me, so I know I'm going to be low on power. So it's when I have that end time each day, I bust my ass because I don't screw around, because I got boom, 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 boom. I got 5 things I got to do. Boom, boom, boom. I got 4 things that I got to do. Boom, boom, boom. 3 things I got to do. Boom, boom. 2 things. I'm down to 1. Boom. And I'm out the door at 3 o'clock, 3:30 at the latest. That's how you're first in and first out. Eliminate all those distractions. Control your environment. Willpower is for chumps. Willpower is for chumps. Clean your environment completely. And then you can be first in and first out. And one last pro tip, whatever it is you do first in the morning, make sure it's your number one priority. The first hour of the day belongs to you. Well, I got kids, Michael, and my wife, and no. Get up an hour earlier. Go to bed an hour earlier. Get up an hour. Turn the TV off. Put your phone away. Put the pad away. Go to bed an hour earlier and get up an hour earlier. The first hour, I don't care how crazy your life is, belongs to you. and use that first hour for your most important thing in your life. It could be exercise, it could be copywriting, it could be shooting a video, it could be prayer, it could be meditation, it could be, I don't care. But number one, the first hour of the day belongs to you. Claim it. It'll change your life completely. Start by claiming the first hour of your day if you're completely out of control. That's it. I got a couple of immigration deadlines coming up. My newsletter, if you want to be part of my newsletter membership, the Michael McLean World Building Letter, you need to get on that at badassletter.com. I'll send you a nice black badass t-shirt with Be Relentless on the back. And my product, my How to Make Maximum Money in Minimum Time, is also expiring at the end of this month. If you want to purchase and invest in that product, go to blackhatletters.com. Blackhatletters.com. Marc-Andre will put both the links below this video. Both of those offers expire at the end of this month. That's it. Do what I do, hug your wife and children, tell them how much they mean to you, and remember, 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.